Hey everybody, this is Randy Brown for Cameo Man 2021 and the Mayor of Magic. If you're just tuning in, I'm about to read the first two chapters of my book, Every Day is Magic. If you've been following me on the Discord, the invite or the announcement was there. So here we go, and I'm gonna read the author's note. All card tricks detailed within this book are actual tricks that can be performed with anyone with a card magic or mentalist mindset. All of these tricks are merely tricks and illusions and do not require the conjuring or summoning of demonic forces or spirits whatsoever. So here we go. Prologue, also known as prologue. Okay. Everyone is so glib when they say they'd give their right arm for a girl. Actually, it was my left. I should have never made that bet. It turned out to be something I couldn't take back. I was shaking with fear. Was it really fear, or was it excitement? I prefer to think the latter. There are haters. People want to see me fail, but there are also people who want to see me succeed. The tools are at my fingertips. It is possible, but will I succeed or fail? My favorite actress is holding a tour. She turns 50 in October, and I'm dedicated to see her before that, to do magic for her. Just in case you didn't know, there's two things in the world I love the most: Katie White and magic. You're probably asking yourself, who the hell is this guy, and why does he like Katie White so much? What does magic have to do with it? I'll tackle those two subjects respectively. Katie White was my first teenage crush. She's only 9 years older than I am. Ever since I could remember, I've been watching the superhero show Mammoth Warrior. It was then that I laid my eyes on the most beautiful woman out there, Katie White. She is to me what the mystical doe is to the mountain lion. I hunger for her, but I've never seen her face to face. Katie was a career gymnast before her debut on Mammoth Warrior. She has a graceful body and sparkling eyes. Every guy in class had her name on their lips. Calling her a dream girl would be an understatement. Then she left the show. The death of her mother stabbed her like an ice pick. I felt it for her. I was there anyway. If there was a way I could have been there, I would have. This was long before the internet and email. This was when Yahoo King was the internet. This was when Yahoo was the king of internet searches. So for years, I had no way of contact. That's just a BS story. I'm sure I could have contacted her, but I wasn't resourceful then as I am now. Now here's a little bit about me. For years, a mouse could whisper louder than I could speak. As far as wallflowers go, I was the smallest of the bouquet. And as things typically did in my life, the worst was yet to come. At nearly exactly age 18, I suffered a psychotic break. It shattered my world, and then from then on, I was put on medication, soul-crushing medication. It destroyed my body. The meds they forced me to take caused me to balloon 100 pounds in 3 months. You can still see the stretch marks of where I gained the weight. That was my origin. All my confidence flew out the window. Before the meds, I was a god. I was 5'11" and I weighed 160 pounds. After the meds, I was a blob, nearly 300 pounds heavy. This magnified my introversion like a telescope magnified the moon. Then in 2012, I saw a show that would turn it all around, The Mentalist. The show changed my entire being. The lead character, Patrick Jane, was so calm and cool and in control of every situation. I would have given anything to be on that show. If I could have traded places with Simon Baker, who played the Mentalist, I would have. He always solved the crime and snagged the girl. I wanted to be that. And then my mom got me the book, How to Be the Mentalist by Simon Winthrop, a real-life consultant for the show. It had everything I needed to emulate my hero. Even the tricks the Mentalist performed were revealed in this tome. Feeling so encouraged by this book, I took my learnings out to the bar, wearing an ill-advised outfit consisting of striped blue button-up and a light blue shirt underneath, white belt, blue jeans, and white sneakers. The outfit fit pretty well on my 280-pound frame. I'll tell you about the socks later. Wink, wink. Before I went out, I made sure my hair was coiffed and my face was smoother than white chocolate. My nails were clipped, and my breath smelled of fresh spearmint. The bar was jumping. A pudgy female karaoke singer was singing Two of Hearts, and two attractive waitresses were going from booth to booth, taking orders. The bar was called Lucky's and had leprechauns and grieved clovers posted randomly on the walls. The crowd at the bar and grill was basically people in their 30s and 40s with a spackle of teenagers milling about, probably somebody's kids. I did a few card tricks for people, and I exploded out of my shell. People freaked in a fantastic way. Later, I saw these two gorgeous women at the end of the bar. They looked very buddy-buddy. The thought of going up to them was terrifying, but then I thought, hey, if you want to be like the Mentalist, you have to do like the Mentalist. And since I knew the Mentalist wouldn't let this situation pass him by, neither would I. I decided to back up my words with actions, and I made a beeline to their position. Using a pickup line was popular online, I went up and said, hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but you two look like the funnest people in here. The dazzler with the straight blonde hair and lacy white outfit giggled. The old Jerry would have taken this as a rejection. She stopped and said, what's your name, sport? Jerry Benson. She noticed the blue bicycle cards in my hands. Are you going to do a magic trick? The other one just sipped her drink, feigning disinterest. I'd love to. To whom, may I ask, you are? I queried. The straight-haired blonde shook my head and said, I'm Alexis. Nice to meet you. I offered my hand for the redhead to shake. Her outfit consisted of a white hoodie and pajama pants with yellow cartoon fishes on it. I was tempted to comment on this, but I fought the inclination. She shook it with a loose grip and said simply, Portia. Awesome. Would you mind if I did a trick? Make it a good one and I'll buy you a drink, Portia says. Otherwise, you gotta buy me a drink. Oh, wow, I said in surprise. No pressure. Taking out the cards, I spread them and uttered that most famous of lines. Pick a card. Any card. I'm bored already, the feisty redhead murmured. She picked one from the middle and showed it to Alexis. Now put it back in the deck. She did as instructed. Now this trick is guaranteed to knock your socks off. Are you game? Portia snickered. Whatever. Alexis punched Portia in the arm playfully. Shut up, bitch. Alexis turned to me. Keep going, stud. You're doing great. I felt Alexis's enthusiasm and Portia's lack of interest. Feeling like I had to step up my game, Alexis' pearly white smile reassured me. She took a sip and laughed at all my jokes. Okay, Portia, I have 3 guesses and 3 guesses only. And if I don't get it right on the 3rd try, I will have gotten it wrong 3 times. Portia burped. See what effect my magic has? I made you do that. Portia seductively put her hand on my shoulder. What else can your magic do? Let's find out, I chuckled. I proceeded to guess my first guess. Ace of spades. Wrong, Portia said, seeming to take joy in my failure. She took a cigarette out of her pocket and puffed up. Try again, hotshot. I peered into Alexis's eyes. 9 of diamonds. Nope, Alexis said, giving me a blinding smile. That was absolutely and categorically not it. I'm sorry. I played it up, waving my hands around like I was casting a spell, and I went for my last guess. And the card was 3 of diamonds. Portia got in my face and said, wah. That's a wrongo. You owe us a shot. Bartender, I said, motioning to the 2. Can we get some shots? The female bartender gave me a thumbs up, and I turned to Alexis. But remember how I said this trick would knock your socks off? I do, Alexis said, but my socks were not knocked off. But I do appreciate the balls, though. It was a valiant attempt. Sorry. Did I say the trick was over? Let me ask you, what was your card? Ace of hearts, she told me. Do me a favor, Lex, I said in the cheekiest manner. Right or left? Alexis just looked at me cross-eyed. What? Just tell me, right or left? Left. I pulled up my left pant leg and showed her my sock. She screamed so loud the entire bar looked our way. An overweight biker sitting next to us turned, thoroughly surprised. Alexis pulled up my other pant leg, looked, and screamed yet again. Oh my God! How did you do that? Portia looked puzzled because he wasn't paying attention. What? What's up? Look at his sock, Alexis prompted. Portia wasn't getting it. What about it? What? She said, pulling up my pant leg. The sock has the ace of hearts embroidered on it. She looked at the other sock, which was the king of spades. How did you do that? Portia demanded. Can you keep a secret? I asked. Yes, Portia shot back. So can I said, putting the cards back in the case, preparing to wrap up. Starting to walk away, Alexis grabbed me by the arm. Wait. I looked at Alexis with a mischievous sparkle in my eye. What? I said playfully. I got it wrong, didn't I? She asked me what I wanted to drink. I told her I don't drink. She told me she respected that, so she bought me a Red Bull instead. She pulled me close and whispered in my ear, if you get the next one right, I'll give you a kiss. I assumed it would have been a tiny peck, but a peck would have been satisfactory back then. Even though I became a smidge more confident, my standards were still on the low end, but these girls were lava. I said, look, with this next trick, if I don't get it right, I'll take my shirt off and I'll buy you 2 shots. Fanning the deck, Alexis picked a card. Look and show it to Portia. She did. That's what she said, Portia scoffed. Alexis hid the cards deep in the deck there. I put the deck in my left pants pocket. Now, I began. There are many different ways of communicating. Some use their eyes, others use their lips. But some people, like you and I, Alexis, can communicate on another level. And I think you and I are on another level. So what I want you to do is look into my eyes and send the image to my mind. I looked into her eyes and squinted. It's not a black card, I said, hamming it up. It's not a face card, she smiled. Oh, that smile's a sign, Alexis chuckled. I'm seeing a high card, like an 8 or a 7. Clubs or spades, I said, pretending to read her mind. Spades, I said, making the prediction. Another beaming smile. It was time for the big reveal. I was about to shock her. I'm going to say the card was 7 of spades. Alexis sighed in defeat. Oh, no, you were so close. I know, I could sense it. What was it? 9 of clubs, she said. I knew it, I said. Bull crap, Portia said dismissively. Off with the shirt, stud. I started unbuttoning my shirt. What they didn't know was I had another shirt underneath it with an image on it, a familiar image. An image that once she saw it, she freaked out even more. So much so, the attractive bartender asked her if she needed to phone the cops. She said, I'm amazed. On my shirt, underneath the button-up shirt, was a t-shirt with a blown-up 9 of clubs. Alexis grabbed me by the collar, pulled me in, and gave me a big, wet, sultry kiss on the lips, which I was not expecting in all my life. We had a great night, and because of that book, I had a vast array of tricks. I had as much fun as a gambler in Vegas, maybe more. And it would get better. Doing what I thought was impossible, I decided I would spend my life making the impossible possible. I resolved to take that bet. What bet, you ask? Read on. Okay, before we go to chapter 1, let's see. Let's do this, Randy. Need to remove. What's up, Dankness? Thanks for giving me a like. Okay, so now we're going to go on to chapter 1, and I am going to read to chapter 2. So, yeah. 10 years had passed since that night. Currently, I'm sitting with my good friend in our favorite diner, the Magic Mushroom. Part diner, part magician hotspot. This is where all the cool magic folk do their thing. Mike had been my friend ever since we were in college, but here we are, planning out the next big thing. Mike sat across from me on his HP laptop, browsing the local talent site. I was 41 now. Mike was 36. He wore a white long-sleeve t-shirt with maroon t-shirt underneath. Aren't you hot in that? I asked. That's why the ladies love me, he joked. Mike was always overdressed with too many layers. He also had a no-fear hat on with white Converse shoes. Today I wore a dark red button-up, black slacks, and black necktie. Mike hunted and pecked his computer looking for good leads. Any events coming up? There's a comedy night in Edgewater, he replied. That's an hour from Daytona. Pass. Mike's frustration was beginning to kick in. Damn it, Jerry, every single suggestion I made you shot down. Every single one. What gives? Even though I was overweight, I leaned in, careful not to stain my red button up with my mochaccino. And I said, time is precious. Because of that, I have to be careful of what events and activities I put my energy into. I can't do something that's probably not going to make you or I any money. It's just business. It could lead to money, he protested. Are you sure? No, he said sheepishly. Well, then, there you go. I need a spectacle, something that's going to get my name out there, something that will blast my view count through the roof, like a news spot or maybe some sort of celeb. And then, mid-sentence, it hit me. Mammoth Warrior was on TV. My favorite actress, Katie White, was doing an interview where she would be on October 8th in Comic-Con in Toronto, Canada. I pointed to the TV on the wall. Olga, I hollered to the pretty barista, could you turn this up? She didn't miss a beat, turned up the volume, and I could hear what the nerdy talk show host was saying. So you'll be at Toronto Stadium premiering your movie? He said to the feisty actress. Tell us more about that. Well, Katie began, I'm debuting my first big-budget movie called Bad Religion on October, which coincidentally coincides with my 50th birthday. It's going to be a big event, and we're still fishing for talent to host the gig. Then the host said something I'll never forget. Maybe you should hire a magician. If you could have seen the space over my head, you would have seen a light bulb turning on. Bingo. What, Mike asked. That's what we should do. I said we should go to Toronto and do magic for Katie White. That would put us through the roof. Mike snickered ruefully. Do you have any idea on how much that would cost? First, we would have to buy a $250 plane ticket over there, then buy a rental car for $30 a day. Then we'd need a hotel in Toronto for around $100. And that's only if we get the same room. Food would easily run about $20, and parking would be murder. You're such a buzzkill, Mike. He closed his computer. I'm a realist, and for real, this trip could easily cost us around $600. Do you have $600? I have about $278. Case closed, he jeered. I bet I could get it if I'm resourceful, I said. You're dreaming, man. Well, Mike, sometimes dreams come true. It would be a dream for me to do magic for Katie on her birthday, and you know that. What's the bet? You have to have collateral, you know. Okay, Mike, if I raise $500, you have to put up the final 100. And if I lose, I'll give you my entire library of Blu-ray discs. Mike looked slightly excited. His eyes scanned back and forth like he was trying to solve a difficult math equation. I don't know. It's risky, but worth it, I reminded him. Do I have to answer now? Yep, I said. Then he gave me his answer. What's up, mercenary man? Can't stick around, but I'll have to watch you back. Have a good stream. Okay. So we read the prologue, we read chapter 1, and now we're getting in chapter 2. So I parked our red Kia Soul and got inside my white double-wide mobile home. Mom and I moved here in Daytona right after she got rid of that POS ex-husband of hers. I went to the fridge and she cornered me. She wore a long flowing nightgown with pink curlers in her hair and slippers. Where have you been? I got news, Ma. News? She said. What news? I got a big project I'm working on. Like what? Well, Ma, I may be headed to Toronto. Why? I got a bet going with Mike. I told her what I was going to tell her, and I thought the hair curlers were going to fly out of her hair. She huffed and puffed, but I stayed firm. You know you're doing all that crap for that damn YouTube channel? I need street cred, Ma, as I said. I said as I went to the cupboard. A thing like this would blast my view count through the roof. She put her hands on her hips. And what if it doesn't? What if this turns out to be a wild goose chase? What if she turns you away? What if she turns out to be a complete and total witch on wheels? Ma, just the stories I get out of this whole adventure would have been worth it. She never understood my crush. In fact, she actually discouraged it. She had no love for Katie or the show, but it was understandable. For a good 6 months after I discovered Katie, I always talked about her ad nauseum. I thought I loved her, and now she was getting up there in age. The thought that nibbled and gnawed at me in the back of my mind is, what if she dies before then? What if I never get to meet her in my entire life? That would be one great tragedy. I wasn't prepared to let that happen, and I wouldn't back down. Mom had tears in her eyes. You're not going to leave me, are you? Mom, I exclaimed, it's for 4 days. That's hardly an eternity. She said, I see what kind of son I raise, and left the room. Now she stomped out of the room, and I felt guilty. I needed to convince her that I wasn't leaving her. It seemed like there was no way out. Needing a break, I decided to have 3 glasses of water and listen to some relaxation hypnosis. That always cools my nerves. Also, hydration does a lot for the brain. Looking at a few persuasion videos, I had no idea how to convince Mom that me going was a good idea. I needed some sleep, and sleeping can reboot your mental software. So I decided to be silent, because when he is silent, even the fool is counted wise. I'd check in with her later. Hey, Randy, can't stay. Watch that already. Okay. I'm gonna go on to chapter 3. So, I'll revise the title in the afterwards. And then if y'all have any questions, let me know in the chat. And then when I'm finished reading chapter 3, I'll answer any questions y'all have, okay? Mom and I went to the Magic Mushroom to get some cinnamon swirls. The place had a mural of a bunch of bunnies coming out of a magic hat on a blue background. All of the tables were small and circular warped glass tabletops. The barista that was working behind the counter, Olga, was wearing a white midriff with blue bikini top and ripped denim jeans. Then I saw it on the plasma screen TV in the corner. Warren Cuddy was in town today. Warren was my all-time favorite public speaker, and I missed his speaking engagement. Would you look at that? I said to Mom. Mom gave me an apologetic look. She knew he's my fave. Aw, you missed him. Well, I said, there's always tomorrow. Not if he dies, Mom exclaimed. Thanks for the encouragement, is what I wanted to say. But what I did say was, Warren has no signs of slowing down anytime soon. That's why I like the guy. He's like 70 and has unlimited energy. Trust me, it's limited, Mom scoffed. I could always count on Mom to be so positive. Actually, I'm being sarcastic. I've been starting to see a decline in her positivity every day she watched the news. She would yell at the newscasters on TV, and I wanted to yell back to her, they can't hear you. Mom just didn't seem to get it. Babble, babble. Garbage in, garbage out, as they say. Not that there's anything wrong with the news, but the news is all about ratings. And the saying in news is, if it bleeds, it leads. News media is based on fear. How do they keep you glued to the seat? 3 things in your house that can kill you instantly. News at 11. How many people would pass on that particular news item? Not many, unless you're smart. Again, it's good to be informed, but there's a big difference between being informed and being inundated. I told her a dozen times, watch 30 in the morning, 30 at night. 30 in the morning, so you have something to talk about, and 30 so you know the 30 at night, so you know the world's not on fire. Maybe if you watched some more news, you would have known about Warren, that Warren was in town, she said smugly. She had a point, but I countered with, no, I just need to keep up to date with Warren's emails and website. He sends you emails? Why didn't you open them? She asked me. That's a good question, I replied, and I'll keep you more up to date on that. You should if you love the guy so much. Just then, Mike entered from the glass doors wearing a white shirt, blue jeans, and a bomber jacket. He waved as he saw me. He waved as he saw us. Hey, Mike, I yelled, what's going on? I gotta go, my mom said. I'll miss Wolf Blitzer if I don't. Now that my ride is here, you're free to do whatever you want, I said, hugging my mom goodbye. Okay, she said, bye. She left, and Mike took her place at the table. He looked at me and asked, I'm not sure about this bet. I think it may have been a bad idea. I sipped my coffee and added, oh, $100 is a lot of money. Oh, I know, Mike, I know. If you want to back out, Mike told me, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a lot of risk. I'd forgive you. Mike, calculated risk is what everyone needs for a successful life. So why don't you just jump out of an airplane? That's an unreasonable risk. Mike nodded his head. So what do you consider a reasonable risk? Something that couldn't kill me. Something that won't leave me bankrupt. If I lose my Blu-ray connection, it'd be a tragedy for sure, but it won't kill me. And I won't be hurting for money for very long. Yeah, Mike cackled. And then I get your DVDs, Jerry. I took the last sip of coffee from my mug. Mike, You're not getting crap. Then the greatest thing to ever happen to me walks right into the doorway. He was 70, 6'7", had a powerful frame and beaming white teeth, dressed in an all-black suit. On his arm was Emmy, his sensual trophy wife. She wore a turtleneck sweater, black leggings, and furry boots. I was dying to meet the two, so I extended my hand and walked over with a brilliant smile. So there we go. That was chapter 1 through 3. We even got the prologue in there, so 4 chapters total. And let's see what's going on here in the chat skis. Hey, Randy, give you a like. Thank you. Yakvo says, I'm digging this. He says, I'm listening while I work. So yeah, Yakvo, there you go. And let me just give out a shout out to everybody. Shout out to Too Tall Rob. Shout out to Dankness Falls. Shout out to Mercenary Man 22. Shout out to Dank Meme Time Machine and Yakvo. So yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. And I'm going to be reading more later this month. Probably not this week. Just to give you a few updates, I've got a lot of stuff going on. I've got a script, and I am also working on Fierce Man 5, doing drawings. Almost, I've done drawings virtually the entire day, so we're going to crank those out. And my name is Randy Brown for Cameo Man and Blogging with Miss. My name is Randy Brown for Cameo Man 2021 and the Mayor of Magic. And I will see you all later, alligator. All right, bye.